Hi everyone, happy day 22. So today we are going to be going over the teaser and hip twist. And these are very hard exercises. The teaser, I always say, is like the most famous Pilates exercise ever. But before we dive in, I am going to announce the winner of my giveaway at the end. And I'm just going to cross my fingers that I don't forget. I used like an automated, a really cool app actually that I just discovered. I was like, oh God, am I going to have to write all the names out on a piece of paper? But anyways, I found this app that just automated it for me. So that's really cool. So I've already done that in advance. So let's talk about the teaser. And I think that there are so many ways that you can approach the teaser. It was kind of hard to decide which exact piece I was going to focus on. So I just decided to keep it very simple. And we're going to talk about the classical teaser 1, 2, and 3. And to be honest, in Joe's original order, he doesn't do all 3 of these, so it's never necessary to go through all 3 in a row. But this just might give you some insight as to a few different types of teasers to try, because one might be more accessible to you than another, and then you can kind of work on the others as we go from there. So as always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, and let's get started. So let me pull up the exercise. All right, so teaser 1. The point of teaser 1 is to, this always used to confuse me, so just a great moment to clarify. Teaser 1, the point is to leave the legs out at a 45-degree angle, roll to and from them. And for me, this is one of the more challenging ones. So you're going to start with your legs in tabletop, hands behind your legs. You're going to reach your arms and legs to 45. You roll up, reach towards your toes, leave the legs still. You curl to the bottom tips of your shoulder blades and back up. Okay, about 3 times. You curl down and then reach back up. Okay, then teaser 2, you reach the arms to the ceiling and you try to lower and lift your legs. So now you're trying to keep the upper body still as you move your legs. Okay, and then our teaser 3 is moving everything. So you're going to curl the tailbone under, you roll the face and the toes down at the same time, lift the face and the toes up. So can you notice how you pass through that hundreds position? And I think I'm going to show it a little more clearly here. Look, it's the 100. Roll up and then roll your spine all the way down. Okay, and then, oh, I'm going for another extra one. Oh, I had to fight for it. Then roll your spine. I'm so glad that I'm not doing this in real time, let me tell you. And that is it. Okay, so I'm going to go through my tips first. So my first tip, if I scrub back to, or if I come back to the start position, okay, so I'm just going to let myself go through, and I'm going to stop myself right about here. Okay, so my first tip, and this rings true to no matter what teaser you're doing, make the angle of your arm bones match the angle of your thigh bones. Okay, so for instance, oftentimes I see people reach their arms straight forward from their shoulders, and that's not going to help you. So there's some physics to this. If you reach your arms up at that upward angle, they're actually going to help pull your torso up. And I think, in my opinion, our teaser is one place that we really want to help ourselves out as much as we possibly can. Okay, and then my second tip for teaser 1 is to play with different leg heights. In a perfect world, our goal is to have the feet as high as the nose. You can see mine are up a little bit higher. That's what works for me. I'm constantly striving to get my feet down to be at the same height as my nose, but it's just not happening yet. So I say that because, maybe having higher legs is actually preventing you from being able to roll up. And if you dropped your legs down a little bit, you might have a bit more ease rolling up. Now, the catch with that is we have the tendency to lift our legs straight up to the ceiling because it's less heavy for our core, but then we can't articulate our spine as well. So the takeaway with that is just try a few different heights with your legs to see what works with you. Okay, so now let's play it forward into our teaser or teaser 2. Now my tip here with teaser 2, my arms are straight up towards the ceiling, and for any of you that have been on the equipment, if you've been on the Cadillac, I like to visualize that I'm holding my push-through bar and I'm pushing it up to the ceiling. And if you do have access to a Cadillac, there you go, that's a place that you can try this. So you imagine you're holding on to something as you lower and lift your legs. That's what's going through my mind. Now, having your arms straight up towards the ceiling might actually be harder for some of you. It depends on the length of your legs and the weight of your legs and the length of your torso. So I'd also try with your arms straight out in front of you and see what works better for you and where you have more success. For me, it's up to the ceiling, arms straight out ahead. I am more likely to fail. So I would try that. And then I would start small with the legs. Like just try it lower and lift them. Teaser 2 is really hard. So start small before you start to aim for that big range of motion. Okay, let's go on to my tip for teaser 3. I'll just let it play through because sometimes it's just valuable to even just watch someone do the exercise when you're not doing it with them. Okay, so now my biggest tip with teaser 3 is to pass through the hundreds. Okay. And to think about lowering your toes and your nose at the same time. I say it all the time. And you're going to lift your toes and your nose up at the same time. Okay, so toes and nose lower down. You can see I'm really curling under. This is a full body exercise. So you're going to use your glutes. You're going to push your waist down to lift those legs. You're going to fight for it. And then roll that spine all the way down. Okay. All right. And then my final tip for teaser 3 is if it's really not working for you. No, actually I have 2 more tips. One just popped into my mind. 2 more tips. So if it's really not happening for you and say you have to just work with your teaser 1 for a bit, you have to use a prop, all of these things, I would suggest working on your 100 and working on having your legs at that low diagonal with your waist pulling down into the mat, and practice that because that's the position that you have to pass through in order to get this, in order to do this exercise. And then my 3rd tip, oh no, it left my brain. Is it gonna come? Is it gonna come? It'll come back to me. I'm just trying to retrace my thoughts. Toes and nose lowering at the same time. Anyways, I hope it will come back to me. I'm sure it will. I didn't write it down as my tip, so hopefully it will come back. Okay, I'm a little bit all over the place today, everyone, so bear with me. So let's move on to hip twist, and then hopefully my final tip will come back. All right. Now hip twist, I want to plant this seed, and I want you to reflect back on what we needed to do with our corkscrew in order to make that happen. Okay, so I'm going to teach you 2 options. Your first option is you're down on your forearms behind you. I suggest starting here and mastering this first. You're going to draw a right to left circle, and then a left to right circle. Good, and then right to left, and then left to right. Okay, so definitely starting with this variation, feeling comfortable and strong in it, making sure that you're not gripping through your lower back. Okay, oh, I just remembered my tip. Okay, so with stretched arms, your arms are back behind you, you're pushing into the floor. A lot more challenging because you're up higher, you're in more of a compact position. The legs are staying together, just like your corkscrew, the legs are staying the exact same length as one another. And then we're doing 1 more. You just do 3, and then that's it. And I wouldn't do both of these exercises back to back. And I'm just going to take a forward fold because I remember that was hard. Okay, sorry for my ADHD brain at this moment. So going back to my final tip, if teaser 3 is not happening for you, I want you to think about your timing as well. So oftentimes what I see people do is they either lift their legs up too soon or not soon enough, or too quickly. So it goes back to my first tip, but just clarifying it a bit more, getting more precise. Again, you want to lift your toes up at the same time as your head. Okay, if you lift those legs up too soon, it's going to be a lot harder for you to roll your body up, and it's not going to fold as precisely in the position. I'm so distracted because Tig is licking her leg right now, and it's driving me nuts. Okay, back to hip twist. Let's play it back. So my biggest tip with this one is think about it being an upper body exercise. Remember our remember our corkscrew, and I was telling you to push down into your arms. Think about your shoulders here. So if I play this video again, I'm not gonna let myself sink down. I'm gonna push the floor away, and my legs are gonna come up. And the more you work through your upper body, the more freedom and rotation you're gonna have. So as soon as I started to flip my perspective with this exercise and I started to think about it being an upper body exercise, the tension that I used to feel in my lower back totally dissipated. Now with this, I want you to play with different widths of your arms and different placements. So having your arms closer, having them further away. I find having my arms really far back behind me helps me counter the weight of my legs because I'm almost 6 feet tall and my legs are heavy. Okay, so if you're a little bit shorter, you might not need to have your arms as far back as mine. Okay, so that's it, everyone. So before I make the final announcement, let's just do a little quick recap because I feel like, as always, I blasted those at you. So back to the teaser. The teaser one, where you're keeping the legs still, rolling down and up. Make the angle of your thigh bones match your arm bones, okay? And play with different leg heights, okay? Then teaser 2, okay, you're keeping your body still, lowering and lifting your legs. I want you to play with having your arms straight up or straight forward and decide what works better for you. And start small with your range of motion. Take a still going at it, oh my goodness. Okay, teaser 3, where you're folding yourself in half and going down, making sure that you're lifting your toes and your nose up at the same time and lowering down at the same time, okay? If you're really struggling and you can't make that happen, you're gonna practice having lower legs in your hundreds and hold yourself accountable to doing that, okay? You can add weights to your hands for these exercises. That might help you as well, an elastic band around your feet. Okay, now hip twist, our takeaways with that is think about it's like your corkscrew, your legs are staying the same length, you're drawing that right to left circle, but now your body is upright. So what do we want to think about? Pushing down into our arms, down into our forearms, and thinking about holding our shoulders super stable as we move against those big circling legs, right? Okay. Wow, those exercises are a lot of work, and you know, just keep working at them. I promise one day, like I said on Instagram, it's really empowering once you're able to do them, and it just takes practice, and that's why it comes at later on in our workout. So now I'm going to announce our winner. So our giveaway, the winner wins either a private session or a private virtual group class session for 1 and 3 of their friends. I mean, I'm not going to turn anyone away. If you have 7 friends, that's totally fine. But Charlotte, you're the winner. I don't know if you're watching. You're probably working right now, but I will reach out to you. But Charlotte won, and so that's super exciting. And stay tuned for the end of the challenge. I'm going to do one last little giveaway. Not the challenge. This isn't a challenge. Blah. There's nothing wrong with challenges, but that's not what this is. But I'm going to have one more giveaway at the end of our March Madness, so stay tuned for that. And thank you all for watching. If questions pop up in advance, not in advance, after this, go ahead and feel free to pop them in the comments, to send me a little bit of a question on Instagram or on my email. And I hope you have a great day. What are we doing tomorrow? I'm not going to screw this up. Tomorrow is going to be... I don't know. I forget what it is. Anyways, I'm totally all over the place. Thanks for watching, everyone. Tomorrow is going to be at a different time, though. It's going to be at 12:30. I had to make a little bit of a schedule change. So tomorrow's at 12:30 Eastern Time, and then Wednesday is going to be at 4:15 Eastern Time. So 12:30 tomorrow, 4:15 on Wednesday. Okay? So I'll see you then. Bye, everyone.